figure loomed over me. Its bony hand reached out and touched my forehead. That's when I felt a sudden surge of energy, and I was back in the museum, standing in front of the dummy's glass case. This is a creepy tale brought to you by the Susbox. Do yourself a favor and hit the like and subscribe button for more sus stuff delivered to you. I'll always remember the day I first heard about the dummy. It was a hot summer afternoon, and I was scrolling through my phone, looking for something to pass the time. That's when I saw it. A news article about a dummy that had been used as a prop on a popular 1970s TV series. According to the article, one day, the dummy's arm fell off during filming, and when the museum crew tried to glue it back on, they made a shocking discovery. A real human bone inside the dummy. My curiosity was immediately piqued. I'd always had a fascination with the macabre and the creepy. And the idea of a dummy with a real human bone inside was too intriguing to ignore. I read every article I could find on the subject, scouring the internet for any information I could find. But no matter how much I searched, one thing remained the same. No one was allowed to see the dummy up close. It was kept behind locked doors and glass cases, and only a select few were allowed to view it. I imagined all kinds of scenarios. What if it was a cursed object that had been used in some kind of black magic ritual? What if it was haunted by the vengeful spirit of its previous owner? The more I thought about it, the more obsessed I became. I knew that the museum wouldn't allow anyone to see the dummy up close, but I couldn't let that stop me. I had to find a way to uncover the truth behind this mysterious object. I spent weeks researching the museum's security measures, studying floor plans, and even scouting out the area around the building. I was determined to find a way in. One night, as I was walking past the museum, I noticed that one of the windows on the third floor was slightly ajar. It was a small window, barely big enough for me to squeeze through, but it was my chance to get inside. I waited until the museum had closed for the night, and then I made my way up to the third floor. I carefully opened the window and climbed inside, feeling a thrill of excitement as I realized that I was now inside the same building as the dummy. As I made my way through the dark and silent halls of the museum, my heart pounding with anticipation, I began to wonder if I was crazy for doing this. What if I got caught? What if the dummy was cursed, and I unleashed something terrible by trying to uncover its secrets? When I arrived, I saw the dummy sitting in a glass case, its lifeless eyes staring out at me. I could feel a chill run down my spine as I approached the case, my hand shaking as I reached out to touch it. As soon as my fingers touched the glass, I felt a sudden jolt of electricity surge through my body. The room around me seemed to warp and distort, and I felt myself falling into a deep, dark hole. The next moment, I found myself inside the dummy. My mind was filled with a dizzying sense of confusion and fear. Everywhere I looked, all I could see were bones. Everything was made of bone. The walls, the floor, the ceiling. It wasn't long before I discovered the truth about the dummy's past. I stumbled around, trying to find my bearings, but I couldn't seem to get my bearings. That's when I saw a figure standing in the distance. It was a man, or at least, it used to be. The figure was made entirely out of bones, its eyes sunken and lifeless. I tried to move away, but my feet wouldn't budge. It was as if I was stuck in place. The figure began to approach me, and as it did, I could hear a faint whispering in the back of my mind. It was a voice, but not one that I recognized. It was a voice that seemed to come from the bones surrounding me. As the figure got closer, the whispering grew louder, and I could hear it more clearly. It was telling me things that I didn't want to hear. It told me about the dummy's past, about the man who had been trapped inside it for decades. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The dummy had been created by a mad scientist who had kidnapped innocent people and turned them into living dolls. The bones inside the dummy were the remains of its previous victims. The figure continued to approach me, its bones creaking and cracking with each step. I tried to run, but my feet wouldn't move. I was trapped, and there was no escape. as the figure loomed over me. Its bony hand reached out and touched my forehead. That's when I felt a sudden surge of energy, and I was back in the museum, standing in front of the dummy's glass case. I looked down at my hand, and it was covered in a fine layer of dust. It was as if I had been inside the dummy for years, even though it had only been a few minutes. I stumbled out of the museum, my mind reeling from what I had just experienced. As I left the museum that night, I couldn't help but feel like I had missed something. There was a nagging sensation in the back of my mind, urging me to go back and investigate further. Over the next few days, I was consumed with thoughts of the dummy and its mysterious past. I scoured the internet for any information I could find, but there was nothing new to uncover. But then, one day, I received an anonymous package in the mail. Inside was a key and a note that read simply, "Come back to the museum, and you will find the answers you seek." I knew that this was just the beginning of my journey, and that there was much more to uncover. And so, I began to plan my next move. To dig deeper into the mystery of the dummy and find the truth behind the darkness I had stumbled upon. Little did I know that my journey would take me to places I could never have imagined, and that the truth I would uncover would be far more terrifying than anything I had ever experienced. Thank you for tuning into today's video from the Susbox. Be sure to drop us a like and subscribe to our channel. What would you do if you found a cursed dummy in person? Let us know in the comments below. Feel free to check out other videos as well.